Hey guys, and welcome to Off the Pitch. I'm your host Josh, and this is my 2019-2020 Premier League standing predictions. So first off, let's start with last place, who I think is going to come last. So in 20th this year, I do believe Sheffield United will come last. I just don't think they added enough talent this year to stay up really, and I really hope they do stay up. Honestly, I think they're going to be in the relegation battle. It's just if they can get out of there really. I think January is going to be really big for them. If they can get a couple more signings to help them stay up, like key signings. If not, I really don't see them staying up, which is sad, but it's just reality. In 19th place, this might come to a shock to a few of you. I am predicting that Crystal Palace is going to come 19th. I really believe because of the departures of Wan Bakasa that went to Basaka, that went to Manchester United. I think that's a really big loss in defence, and I also do believe that Wilfred Zaha will leave in January. He handed in his transfer request, but they didn't push the deal through because they're desperate to keep him, or else they know that they're not going to survive. So I think a lot hinges on him staying in January. If he can stay, I think they will have a chance of surviving. If not, I think they're going to get relegated, to be honest. And yeah, so it may come as a shock, but I do think they're going to come 19th. In 18th place, I have Burnley. So look, last year was really disappointing for Burnley. I honestly thought they were going to come top 12, top 10, so mid-table. But really disappointing. I think Europa League had a lot to do with that because they were in the qualifications for that, and they really just did not have the squad depth whatsoever. And just lacking a few very good players in the team. They're not, the defense is not bad. Like they got like James Tarkovsky, he's a very good player. They got Joe Hart in goals, but I don't know. Last year they did not impress me at all. Even though I do think Sean Dyche is a really good manager, I just don't think they have what it takes this year to survive, which is sad, but it is what it is. So yeah, I have them coming in at 18th. In 17th place, I have Norwich. I do think Norwich is going to survive relegation. I don't think they're going to be relegated. They made some really good signings actually. They got Farman on loan from Norwich, from Schalke, and they also got Patrick Roberts too. He's a very, very good player, a young prospect. They got him on loan, and also they signed a Swiss international on a free transfer. I forget his name, but he's proven goal scorer in the Bundesliga. And yeah, I really hope they do stay up. They've got a good side. They're not bad. They came first for a reason last year in the championship. And yeah, I really do think they are going to be able to stay up. In 16th place, I have Brighton. That might come as a surprise. Maybe a lot of people are thinking they will get relegated, but they added a few good players. They got Aaron Moy on deadline day. They also got Neil Maupay or something like that. He's from Brentford. He scored like 20 goals last year or something, and he's a young player, young prospect. I think he's only about 22, and he's a good player. So I think they have enough to stay up, really. I hope they do because of Aaron Moy and Matt Ryan, but yeah, we'll see. In 15th place, I've got Southampton. Southampton also had a pretty disappointing campaign last year. I think they can turn things around this year and improve, maybe even go a few places higher than 15th. But a real key signing for them is Che Adams from Birmingham. Very, very good striker. And they signed Danny Ings also, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. In 14th place, I've got Aston Villa. Fresh up from the championship, I think they came 5th in the championship, and they won the promotion playoff. And it's going to be interesting because it's going to all depend on how quickly that side can gel together, because they literally signed basically a whole new squad. Like I think they had at least 10 signings, and key signings too, like that will move into the first team. Tyrone Mings was one of them. He's a very good player, very good defender. Wesley from the Belgium league. And yeah, look, they also got Trezeguet too. I really do think that they are going to stay up. I think if they can gel together quickly early on in the season, they're going to have a pretty good campaign. I really hope they do too, because they're the team I'm supporting this year in the APL, as I don't really have a team in the APL, as my favourite team is AC Milan in the Serie A. But yeah, so I really do hope Aston Villa stay up, and I think 14th is a bold prediction. They could drop lower, but I'm hopeful for them. In 13th place, this might come as the biggest shock of the video. I do have Newcastle United coming at 13th. I think, look, I don't rate Steve Bruce as a manager. I really don't. I don't think he's quality. He just isn't really that great, I don't think. I do like the signings that they made, actually. They got Joelinton from Hoffenheim. He's a proven striker over there in the German league. And they signed Saint Maximin, something like that, the young winger from OGC Nice in France. So they signed them too. There have been a couple other signings too in defence. And Rafa Benitez, Rondon, Jose Perez is a very big loss to him, very big loss to the team. But I do think that last year they came, I believe it was 13th. So they do have the quality to stay up in that mid-table section. It may have been even higher, forget. It was between that 10th to 13th range. But look, Rafa Benitez, as I said, really big loss to the team. So is Rondon. He was just a goal scorer for him. And Jose Perez also a very good player. But I do think that the signings they made and the replacements are, if not just as good, if not better than the players that they had. I do think Joelinton will take time to adjust to the APL, and it'll be interesting to see. But I do have them coming in at 13th. But it will be interesting because they could come lower. They could even go higher. But yeah, in 12th place, I have Bournemouth. Now, I really do hope they can make it a bit higher up, but they didn't really sign many players. They did get Billing from Huddersfield that got relegated. He's a good midfielder. He's like 6'5". He's a really good player, but I don't think the team improved that much to the starting 11. Besides him, I do think Eddie Howe is a really good manager though. So that's going to be, he's my favorite manager in the APL, and so Bournemouth is a well-run side, which I think will help them, and I really do hope they can go even higher. But 12th is my prediction for Bournemouth. And I really do hope Josh King and Callum Wilson have another great season. Also Ryan Fraser, another really good player for him. So I do think they have the quality to get mid-table. In 11th place, I have Watford. Watford, just a good team. They signed Ismaili Sarr from, I think it was Rennes from France, for a record fee for them, actually, just on deadline day. And he's going to be a really good player for them too. They already have a quality side, a few players coming back from injuries from last season, and I do think they're going to have a good year this year, Watford. 11th, I think they can finish between 11th and 8th, anywhere between them, but 11th is my prediction for them. So yeah. In 10th, I have Leicester. Leicester made some good signings. I know Harry Maguire is a very big loss in defence, and that is going to be the biggest problem to them. If they didn't get a replacement for him in this window, so maybe January they will look for a replacement, and hopefully they do, because that's a big hole to fill. I know that the centre-backs they have already are proven Premier League winners. They did win the Premier League 3 years ago now with can't think of his name right now, but Wes Morgan. So they had him in there. So I think he might slot back into starting position, even though he's getting a bit older. I do think they will be able to do the job until January, and then they really do need to get another centre back in. I do really like Brendan Rodgers. I think he's a great manager, and I like the signings they made. They made Yuri Tielemans permanent. They signed Jose Perez. So yeah, they've got a good side. James Maddison, an amazing young player, amazing, and they've already got Jamie Vardy, who's a proven goal scorer in the league, and yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting season for him. It will be the January transfer window is going to be key for them though. I think they really do need another centre back. But yeah, so I have them coming at 10th. Now in 9th, I do have West Ham. I think West Ham is every year they're just an interesting team because they always sign interesting young players, and yeah, so I do like Manuel Pellegrini. I think he's a good coach. I think last year their problem was not only injuries, but they just didn't gel quick enough. By the time they started to gel, the season was basically already over. So I think this year it really is going to depend on how quickly they can gel. They've got talent, very good players. Felipe Anderson. They signed Sebastian Haller. I don't know how you pronounce his last name. Sorry about that. But the striker from Frankfurt, he's a really good player. They also signed Pablo Fornals from the Spanish league. Also another good player. Lanzini is coming back from injury, which he was key to him. And when he got injured, it really ruined their form and ruined the chemistry within the team because he's key to that squad. So hopefully they all stay healthy and they can gel, because I really do think that they really could finish as high as 7th this year, I believe. Even 6th. They have a really, really good side. It's just how quickly they can gel together. So I have them coming in at 9th. In 8th, this may be a bit of a surprise. They did come 7th last year. It is Wolves. The only thing is, look, amazing signings. They got Vallejo from Real Madrid on loan. They signed Cotrone from AC Milan. So they made a few good signings, a couple good signings. Young signings too. They're very, very young players with a lot of potential, both of them. They've already got a great squad. I do think Jimenez up front, very good player. They've got Doherty at the back, Patricio in goalkeeper, Ruben Neves, Matinho. So they've got a really good side. But the biggest problem is that's going to be for him is their squad deep enough to compete in the Europa League, which they are in qualifications for right now. Because if they do qualify, a big problem is squad depth. Do they have the squad depth to be able to play in both competitions, for the players to back up in each? If players get injured, what's going to happen? So look, 8th is, I think, optimistic this season. It's going to be interesting because it all depends on if the squad can stay healthy. But yeah, look, I really do hope Wolves finish well this year. 8th is optimistic for them as Europa League. They're in Europa League, which you saw with Burnley. Burnley came, I think it was 7th or 6th the year before, and they got into the Europa League, that qualification, and then the squad depth just did not hold up, and they ended up nearly getting relegated last year. So it'll be interesting. I don't think Wolves will be in the relegation battle. I think they will finish between 10th and 7th, but 8th is my prediction for them. I really do hope they go well this season. I want to see Cotrone score some goals. He's a great player, great striker, and yeah. In 7th place, I have Everton. Now Everton, just like West Ham, every year they sign really good, interesting players. Always keen to see them play, and this is another year of that. So they signed Iwobi on deadline day from Arsenal. I love Iwobi. He's a great player. He's a bit hot and cold. He's a bit streaky of a player. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. I do love the signing of Keane from Juventus, and a great young prospect at striker. I'm surprised Juventus sold him. Look, I know they have surplus of strikers, but he's just such a good young talent, and I think he's the future of Italy's national team up front. He really is talented. I think it may take him a bit of time to adjust to the Premier League, but I do think he's going to do very well in the Premier League. Also, I'm expecting a big season from Sigurdsson and Richarlison again. They're amazing players. The defense is good too. They look, losing Zuma going back to Chelsea from the end of his loan is a problem. Like, that is a problem for their defense, but I do think they have Yerry Mina. He needs to step up. He will be the person that most likely slots in, as they lost Phil Jagielka as he went to Sheffield United, but he was getting old anyway. But yeah, look, it really depends on if Yerry Mina can step up defensively, because we all know he's a good player offensively, but he does lack defensive abilities. So look, it'll be interesting to see. I do think they've got a team to challenge, though. They're a really good side. They could honestly finish in 6th place, but I do have them at 7th. So yeah. In 6th place, I have Chelsea. Now, the reason for this that I don't have many higher is because they didn't sign anyone because of the transfer ban. They only got Kovacic from Real Madrid because he was already on loan. The loss of Eden Hazard is very big to him. Look, he was instrumental to that team going well last year, winning the Europa League and coming fourth. No, I believe, no, was it third? I think. Well, let me check that right now. Chelsea last year. It may have been third. I think they may have jumped Spurs on the final day. 2018. Let me see this. Yes, they did come third. They ended up being higher than Spurs. Look, Frank Lampard, he's not proven. Look, he did well with Derby County last year, but it's a big jump for him. A lot of pressure, especially with not being able to make any signings of your choice because of the ban. So you can't sign anyone, even though they did bring basically a squad back from all their loanee players that were on loan from last season, which was like 20 people, but they loaned most of them back out. It's going to be interesting though. They've got Pulisic. He's a player to watch for him. Willian, I do think he's going to step up and be very big for him this year. And also, if Tammy Abraham isn't the striker that's going to be starting for him, I know he will get a chance, but if he's not the main guy, I do think Giroud is going to have a very big season. I think if he is the main striker, he's going to score a lot of goals. He is a good player. He's a great target man, and I do see him doing well. The loss of David Luiz, look, he's a good player, but I think they've got other talented centre-backs there, such as Rudiger, Christensen, and Kurt Zuma, and Azpilicueta. So, look, it will be interesting, but I do see them coming sixth because they cannot sign any new players. So, and I know they're trying to get it overturned, but I don't know what's going to happen there. So, look, it's going to be interesting. I don't see them making the top four, though. In fifth place, I have Manchester United. Look, when Solskjaer was the interim manager, they were undefeated. They were amazing. But as soon as he got the job of the permanent job of being a manager, I don't know, he just lost it. Like, they started losing games, not going as well. So a bit of pressure there. But look, the loss of Lukaku, very big. Pogba's unsettled, so I don't know what's going to happen there. If he's going to play to the best of his ability, or is he just going to try and force a move out by not turning up to training, not playing as good as he can. So we'll see. That's going to be really interesting to see. Look, they didn't get a striker in, but so they've only got Rashford. They've only got Rashford up front, like as a main striker. So it's going to be interesting. I know they got Harry Maguire in, very good centre back. Wan-Bissaka, another good right back. So the defense has improved. That's the right side of the defense. The left side of the defense is still shaky. Who's the other centre-back partner? Is it going to be Lindelof? Is it going to be Smalling? Probably Lindelof. Is Bailly's injured? Is he proven? I don't really know. That's going to be interesting. Luke Shaw, he reckons he's going to have a great season, but it will be interesting because he always struggles with staying healthy. But he is a good player, so it's going to be an interesting season. I don't think they have the quality to finish top four, so I think they're going to be fifth this year. In fourth place this year, I have Arsenal. I did like their signings. I really did. I know they lost a few key players, Iwobi, Ramsey, very good players, but the signing of Pepe, Ceballos, they got David Luiz in, Kieran Tierney, all such very good players. Honestly, I think it's going to be a really good year. Once again, the defense is still... Like, who they're going to start, is it going to be... I know Bellerin and Tierney are going to be injured for about a month or two. So, probably Monreal and maybe Callum Chambers or Jenkinson. I think they sold one of them. I think they sold Jenkinson. They did. So, your right back's going to be a bit of an issue. Centre-backs, like, who are you going to put in centre-back? Mustafi's just a waste of space. He's just not a good defender. And they signed David Luiz, who... Also, I don't think he's as bad as Mustafi. Mustafi is just error prone. Like, he just always makes errors all the time. Even though he's a good defense, like, he can be very good, he just always finds a way to stuff up. So, look, David Luiz is known for he's known for his offensive ability, not so much his defensive ability. So it will be interesting. I think they'll probably play Luiz and Socrates, or Socrates and Rob Holding. Look, you'll see. We'll probably start with Louise in there. They've got a good team. Pepe, as I said, Aubameyang, Lacazette. It's going to be interesting. Ozil, I think this is Ozil's season. I think he's going to have another pretty good season. The last 2 years have been pretty mediocre for him. He hasn't been that great, but I really do think this is the season he's going to have. It's going to be his comeback season, I do believe. So they could finish high. They could finish third, second, I believe, but it all depends on how good that defense is going to be and if Ozil can have a good season too. I do like the young players. I am upset that Iwobi left, but I'm glad because I think now Reece Nielsen is going to get some playing time, and he is such a good talent. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I wish him all the best. He's such a good player, and they've got another. They got the Martinelli kid, the Brazilian youngster, the striker that they brought in. So it's going to be interesting to see how they slot these guys in. I know Nketiah just left on loan, so hopefully he comes back next season really good. He's gone to Leeds this year in the Championship, so it'll be interesting. But I do have Arsenal coming fourth, so that is my prediction. In third place, this may shock a lot of people, but I do predict that Liverpool is going to come third. I know they won the Champions League last year and lost to the Man City by a point last year in the Premier League, but I don't know. I think they've been really lucky with having no one injured ever. Like no one's been injured for more than a month really at a time. So if one of their front three gets injured, I really do think that's their season over because like it sustains a big injury because they don't really have the back. I know they got Shaqiri, but then after that, who do you really have? I don't know. They're gonna have a great season again. I don't know if they can repeat the same success in Champions League. I don't think they will. I think they're gonna focus more on the Premier League. But it really all depends on if they can stay healthy. I am upset. I really wanted them to sign another centre back to pair up with Van Dijk because I don't think Matip, Lovren, or Joe Gomez is really good enough to be the best centre back pairing in the Premier League. If they had another world class centre back, I do think they'd probably win it again. They'd probably come first. Sorry, I really do think, but. They lack that. They lack that other centre back that's just as good as Van Dijk, because everything else I don't really see them having many gaps in the side besides squad depth really and a centre back to pair it with Van Dijk. Look, they could come second. They could even come first, but I do think they're going to come third. My prediction for second place. This might surprise you, and it is Tottenham. Tottenham. They made some really good business on transfer deadline there. They got Sessegnon in, and they also got Lo Celso from Real Betis, and they also signed Ndombele, but that was a few weeks ago. So Ndombele was their first signing in over a year, and then all of a sudden Pochettino started saying in the media that he should not be called the coach, he should just be called the manager or something because he had no say in the transfers. And then all of a sudden, in the next week, they signed two very good players. And so I think that scared Daniel Levy a bit, and he thought, I better splash the cash or else this great manager we have and this great squad, they might fall apart because I'm not spending money. So I think they have a really good team. I really think Tottenham, I honestly think they could come first. They have a really, really good side. I do like the signings they made. I'm upset that Dybala didn't end up signing. Juventus cancelled the transfer at the end, but if he had signed, it would have been really interesting. It also is going to be interesting because does Eriksen want to stay? Does he not? I heard he's not in the long-term plans of Pochettino, but look, we'll see. Tottenham, though, they have a really good squad. I'm excited to see them play this year. It's going to be really good. And, yeah, we'll see. In first place, I have Man City winning it once again, winning the league again. They look, there's going to be some issues. I know he's got ruled out. I don't know how long for. Probably most of the season he did his ACL, I read. That's a big issue for him. They haven't, they had De Bruyne out basically all of last year with injury. Injury plays a big part in any team coming first. So look, I know that they have a lot of squad depth though. They've got heaps of good players. They signed Cancelo from Juventus, a really good right back. I don't know who's going to be centre back partnership. I know Laporte will probably be one centre back, and the other centre back, I don't know. He's going to put Kyle Walker there because Cancelo will play at right back. I don't know what's going to happen. Kyle Walker, I think he can play centre back. He's a really good player. I think they're just too good all around to not win. They signed Rodri in centre midfield from Atletico Madrid, another amazing player. Look, it really is going to be really interesting this year. So anyone in that top three could really come first. I could see Liverpool, Spurs, or Man City coming first, but I am predicting Man City. I think he's too good. But I do think they are going to try and focus on the Champions League though, because he's already won the Premier League multiple times now with Man City. So I don't think that's going to be his main focus. But it really is going to depend on can the whole team stay healthy, because Sane is already out for probably most of the season with the ACL injury. So it's going to be really interesting. And yeah. And that is it. That is my 2019-2020 Premier League standings predictions. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and leave in the comments below what you think, where you think your favorite team is going to end up. Thank you.